having a pollinator demonstration garden on campus is a really powerful way to show people these are the kinds of spaces that our native pollinators really enjoy and will utilize and need, and that we don't need to be too complex about it. We just need to put in the right kinds of substrate for those to nest and the right kinds of plants. One of the best parts about a native pollinator conservation garden is that we can teach people about the diversity of pollinators. And a lot of people know about honeybees and bumblebees, but they don't necessarily understand that we have another 1,500 different species of native bees here in Utah. We had lots of different people throughout campus collaborating on this effort. It was kind of this beautiful relationship between the biology department, the community engaged learning students on campus, and the architecture building. We collaborated to put that pollinator garden in that space. Another group that is, of course, very, very active with planning, planting, and implementing the pollinator conservation garden was the Beekeepers Association at the University of Utah. So great way to collaborate among multiple departments, students from different backgrounds and interests in multiple clubs to raise awareness and promote biodiversity concepts on campus of pollinators.
So every year during a rainstorm, there would be flooding in the path that you can see in the back, and that would overflow and run off through the lawn that used to be there just in my back, in the background. We had two plans to do with this space. Is one, to make a green infrastructure to collect all of those stormwater to stop flooding in the architecture shop, and then also make it into a pollinator garden. We decided we can apply for a SCIF grant and make a sort of a bioswale in this lawn. So this is the first of its kind, a hybrid infiltration and bioretention channel on campus. So we were really excited. We had this huge team who were designing and drawing and making up sketches of how it would look like. So that part was really interesting. We had pictures from previous years of exactly where the wood chips that would flood with the rainwater come in this path. So that basically gave us an idea, the direction of the slope of the land where the water would flow. The idea was to initially collect the water right here, and then whatever the rest is would slowly trickle down the slope, and by the time it goes at the end of this space, at the end of this garden, there won't be enough water left so that it would flood the architecture shop.
Okay, so the genesis of this project actually came from a conversation with Sue in campus facilities, who was talking about the fact that they were going to dig up this area of ground in front of our building, and this presented an opportunity for us to put in something better than had been there before. We pulled together this team of faculty and students, and we put together a proposal for the SCIF program. And SCIF is the Sustainable Campus Initiative Fund, and it's funded by student fees for students who can write proposals to do cool sustainability stuff on campus. We wrote the SCIF proposal probably in about 3 weeks. It was pretty fast. And we still have student teams who are going to be weeding and helping to maintain the garden. As we do things on campus, as we change and build things, there are always opportunities to try and do things better and try out new ways of doing things.
One of the really big goals of the garden is providing habitat for bees, but also another really important part was giving exposure to the bees, is providing a way for people to see why they are so important in kind of an area that education about pollinators can be put together. One of the ideas that we had for the garden is providing different areas where art exhibits could be installed that are pollinator focused, as well as different projects for monitoring pollinator activity in the area. So that was another really cool part of the project that we hope to have, is providing an area for people to study those types of different things. One of the contributing factors to why pollinators are decreasing, and honeybees in particular, is different mites, pests, as well as viruses. We did try to incorporate plants that were good for bees as well as butterflies and hummingbirds. Some of those different plants were hyssop, bee balm, hummingbird trumpets as well. just to provide a diverse variety of different food sources for the pollinators. So another really important step in helping pollinators flourish on a global level, one of the steps we can make is helping them flourish on campus, which is hopefully what we've done with creating this garden on campus.